I have some massive cards that I'm about to submit to PSA for grading. And in this video, I'm gonna take you step by step through their new submission process, show you how I got these cards ready to send off, and then show you what grades came back all before this video ends. Hello, sports card investors, and I've got a fun one for you today because we've got stacks upon stacks of big cards that I am prepping right now to send off for grading to PSA. And the best part is you're gonna see what grades all of these come back with at the end of today's video. So first, let me start by showing you some of the cards that are going off for grading right now that I have already prepped for grading, including that's a Superfractor. You guys may have heard I put a bounty out for DJ Lagway's Superfractor. He's my Florida Gator quarterback, and I got his Big Kahuna Superfractor 1 of 1 from Bowman U. Super excited to be the owner of that card. So had to start off with that one because that's going to be a big PC card for me. But a lot of other cool ones too. Another DJ Lagway, Stan Musial Kaboom. I got a Derrick Henry Zoom card. Quentin Johnson Gold out of 10. I've got a Byron Churio first Bowman Auto, Brock Bowers Masterpieces, Zay Flowers tie-dye rookie card, number /25 from Select. Keon Coleman, that's a cool white from Mosaic. I've got a Jordan Rogers signature. I've got some nice baseball too, like an Adley Rutschman auto, Jordan Lawler rookie auto from Transcendent, Lamar Jackson Genesis. I didn't forget about basketball. Got a little Chet Holmgren, a red rookie from Mosaic there, some more Bowman U, and finally from this pile, look at that, a little 1 of 1. Talking about 1 of 1s for my PC, this is Card Collector 2, Ryan Johnson's 1 of 1 from Leaf Metal from when he threw out the first pitch at the Brewers game last year. So that's just some of the cards. I got some other stacks here as well, including, by the way, a couple of crossovers. So I cracked a couple of cards out of SGC cases. Both of these cards were 10-10s in SGC. It's going to be interesting to see how they come back when I get the grades back here during this show from PSA. When I'm cracking cards out, by the way, this is the tool that I've been using. I just got this on Amazon. Now, some people have told me that tile nippers are actually a better choice. So I just ordered a couple of tile nippers. So I'm going to try those out in the future. I'm not showing you in this video how I crack cards because honestly, I don't know if I'm good enough at it yet to really show you and teach you. But I was able to do an effective job cracking these out. I have a screwdriver as well. With these giant cutters, I will cut the corner of the slab, and then I'll use the screwdriver to pry the slab open. So that's what I've been doing. Of course, with all of these cards, I've been using a microfiber cloth to wipe them down once I have them before I put them into these penny sleeves. And by the way, when you're submitting your cards to grading, they're going into penny sleeves, and then you're putting your penny sleeve into a semi-rigid card holder. And here I have both of those from BCW Supplies. You put those in there. So I like to wipe them down with a microfiber, put them into the card sleeves, the penny sleeves, put them into the semi-rigid card holders. And this is a super handy tool. I've got a few different variations of this. I've got actually a magnifying, kind of like a little table magnifier with lights underneath it that I got off of Amazon. You can find these on Amazon as well. I really like, this is a really nice magnifying glass with the LED lights behind, and it makes it really easy to evaluate cards. Your best bet for taking a close look at cards is to do it in dark. So right now the studio is light, but if you were to turn the lights off and look at the cards in dark, and then you kind of move them back and forth as you're panning the magnifying glass over them, looking for any type of surface issues. Surface issues are the hardest things to spot when looking at the condition of a card. And so you really need to get a good look at potential surface issues by using a magnifying glass and using light in a dark room and moving the card back and forth, especially for like chromium cards with a shiny finish. that's a great way to detect surface issues. Of course, the other things you're looking for are the corners. You need 4 sharp corners. You need sharp edges with no fraying or indentations, and you need really good centering. Those are the other things you're going to look for. The image on the card needs to be as perfectly centered as possible. And as an example of a card that I thought I would be sending off, but I'm not, this is a Ken Griffey Jr. frame card from Museum Collection. This card was also graded a 10 by another grading company. And as I took this card out and I started to look at the frame itself, I started to see a decent amount of damage, like little marks on the frame across the top and the bottom of the frame. And you can really see it when you're looking at it under the magnifier. And once I saw that, I tried to wipe it off with the microfiber. No chance. It would not come off. No chance at all. Then I noticed the centering, by the way. Look at the centering on that card. Look at the left to right centering. It shifted to the right. I don't know how that got a 10-10 with another grading company. It's not going to get a 10 with PSA. So that one I'm not submitting to PSA today. And of course, if you want just to submit that for PC, then by all means submit that for PC. Like, there's nothing wrong with submitting something to PSA that's not going to grade well. Maybe you just want it in a slab. But today, I'm going for as many 10s as possible. So I decided not to submit that one. There are a couple of cards, though, that are PC that aren't going to grade well, that I'm going to submit to PSA just to get authenticated. This, you might recognize this. This is the Rookie of the Year redemption card. I pulled this on an airplane. It was a social video. It went a little bit viral. You might have noticed that social video. You might have seen it. Well, this is the redemption card. I got the actual card back from Topps. The redemption card, I want to get slapped. Just because it's a cool memory of pulling this on an airplane. This is just for PC. And the redemption card's kind of beat up. The corner on it's kind of messed up and everything. So this would just be to try to authenticate it. I just wanted it in a slab for my personal collection. So I'm going to send it off to PSA. And I'm also going to send off this card. This card holds a very special place in my heart. It's not in good condition. The corners are messed up. That's not the point. That's not the purpose. This card was a card that my son Reeves pulled from his very first pack of cards that he ever opened. Football cards. He opened these cards 7 years ago, a pack of these Donruss cards, and he pulled this card out of it. And my mom, his grandmother, bought him this pack of cards. And it was him opening this pack of cards that set me on my journey for Sports Card Investor and Cards HQ and everything we've done. Because him opening this pack of cards and pulling this Tom Brady card reignited my interest in sports cards. And we opened it together and he pulled this card. I was like, oh, that's super cool. Look, it's a Tom Brady card. It's a highlights card. I knew nothing about cards of the ultra modern era. I collected as a kid. I had totally lost touch with cards. But him pulling this card and opening that pack that my mom bought him reignited my interest about 7 years ago and started me on this whole entire journey and this whole entire path. He recently pulled this card out. He found it in his boxes of cards, and we both remembered it as that first card that he pulled out. And so I want to get it slapped by PSA, just to have it in my PC and his PC as just a memory that the two of us shared forever. That's a really special memory. And I just would rather have that in a PSA slab, authenticated, just to preserve the memory. And so that's what we're going to do today. Speaking of my son Reeves, he pulled out several of his cards that I'm going to be submitting off today. He's got some big boys. Look at that. Malik Neighbors and Drake May Kaboom rookie cards. Now he says these are super clean. He thinks the Drake May is an absolute surefire 10. We'll see. I know these are hard to get 10s on, so we're going to see in this video what these come back at. He also pulled out some cards. He loves Bowman U. He loves college football just like I do. So he opened up a bunch of Bowman U boxes, and these are some of the cards that he got from his Bowman U boxes. So those are all going to go off right now for grading. And then my other son, Harrison, my younger son, He's got one sports card to send off. It's Lamine Yamal, which, by the way, I already warned him. I said, Harrison, this one's a 9. It's not a 10. He said, Dad, I think it's got a chance at a 10. And I said, Harrison, look at the left-right centering. Look at the left-right centering. You can see that on the camera right there. It is moved to the left. The card otherwise looks really good, but I don't think that's quite good enough for a 10. I think that's a 9. You may disagree with me. Tell me in the comments, but I look at that centering pretty closely, and to me, it shifted over, and I worry that that's a 9. So we'll see. We're going to find out in this video what this comes back at. But he also, what he's been on a kick about recently is going around card shows and our card shop here and looking for raw Pokemon cards that he believes he can grade and that he thinks have a chance at a 10. That can be very, very lucrative right now. Pokemon cards have been super hot, and the raw to grade ratio of Pokemon, if you can get a 10, is oftentimes better than the raw to PSA 10 ratio on sports cards. So there's actual money to be made by doing what he's trying to do. So we'll see how he does with these. But look, these are all ones, he's got a lot of duplicates in here. These are all ones that he thinks are, all of these he believes has a shot at a 10. And these are all ones that have a good premium if they get a 10. The premium of a 10 on these is significant. So he wanted me to submit all of these, and we're gonna see if his experiment of trying to get 10s work. What he's really hoping is that half of these come back as a 10. If he gets a 50% gem rate or above on these cards, he's gonna be doing extremely well for himself. Very profitable if he can get a 50% gem rate here or above. And you're gonna find out in this video if he was able to do that or not. Okay, PSA has just rolled out, like literally just, like this week, with a brand new submission center experience for beginners, for first-time submitters, for folks who aren't super familiar with how to submit cards to PSA. It's a new guided submission experience, and it makes it easy. And even if you are a veteran like I am, I'm still gonna use this new guided submission process because, for example, I don't know the Pokemon world super well. So having a guided process, which is gonna make it easier for me to understand what I'm submitting, especially with these Pokemon cards, is gonna make my life a lot easier. So I'm gonna hop over to my computer now, and I'm gonna show you this brand new submission center process that PSA just rolled out with. We're gonna get all of these submitted through it, and then I'm gonna show you the grades. All right, so I'm in my office and I'm about to go on PSA's website to start my submission, and I'm going to try their brand new assisted submission process that just launched. So let's take a look at what this looks like together. So here we are on psacard.com. I'm gonna start my submission by clicking that in the upper right and then click right over here to get my submission started. Okay, and this is what's new, right? So they have this new process now called assisted submission, best for first-time submitters. This is supposed to be an easier way to submit your trading cards for grading versus the classic submission, the way that we're all used to, right? That still exists. But let's try this assisted submission and see what this is like. Okay. So definitely a different process, I can tell right off the bat, because what it's telling you to do right now is just simply add items. You don't have to pick service levels. You don't have to put in declared values right now, go through any of those questions, just simply add items. So I picked out a small handful of cards to try this with. I'm starting with a more common card, I think a card that will be in there, and then we're gonna work through to some trickier cards and see how this thing responds to it. So this first card is a Derrick Henry Zoom. Let's see if it can find this card. And so it found right here the 2023 Panini Zenith Zoom Derrick Henry. And I can tell from the image right there, that is the card. Actually, that's nice. Now, if you mouse over the image, it shows an image of the card, and I can tell, yep, that's the card. So I didn't need to know the year. I didn't need to know the set. I was just able to put the information, the player name, and what I saw on the card, that word Zoom. And let me go ahead and click this. So now it's gonna show me the card to ensure that it is accurate. It's gonna give me an estimated graded value. That's interesting. And it's gonna ask me if it has an autograph. So the autograph authentication, I guess, is now integrated into this process on a card-by-card basis. That's interesting as well. So I don't have an autograph, obviously, on this one. I'm just gonna hit confirm. Okay, item added. So I didn't even have to declare value because I think it's gonna pull that information for you automatically now from their pricing database. So if this works well, and we're gonna go through this next set of cards, this actually is quite a bit easier of a process. So this next card is a Kaboom Drake May. I pulled this one out specifically because it's a new card. So I wanted to see, will it be in their system yet? Will they have an image of it yet? This is the vertical, and yeah, look at that. So they have this in their system already. And of course, I'm recording this a couple of months before you're watching it, right? Because you're gonna see the grading reveal here at the end of the video, so we needed a little bit of time. So this is actually quite a new set when I'm sitting here recording this. So I wasn't sure it was gonna be in their system or not, but it is. So that is the Absolute Kaboom Vertical Drake Man. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm that card. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so now it's gonna start to get a little tricky. This is a 1 of 1. So I don't think they're gonna have an image of it. This is the DJ Lagway Big Kahuna Superfractor. Let's see if it can find the card at all. So I'm gonna type in DJ Lagway Big Kahuna. Let me type in 1 of 1 and just see what happens when I do that. Yeah, it's got it right here. The 2024 Bowman University Chrome, the Big Kahuna autograph. This is the autograph version. DJ Lagway Superfractor 1 of 1. So it does not have an image. I'm not surprised by that because I have the card. They've never had it submitted for grading before. But that is it without an image. It does not know the value on this one. So that's going to be interesting. I wonder what's going to happen when it has to assess what level you should submit to here in the process. We're going to check that out in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. Let me do a couple more. This one I'm not sure going to have in their database at all. This is a Ryan Johnson Card Collector 2, his special card from when he threw out the first pitch. So let me just type in Ryan Johnson Leaf and see if it comes up with anything. It did. Okay, so it actually has his cards in here. Now the question is, this is a 1 of 1, and it doesn't look like they have that variation. It looks like kind of a gold 1 of 1. So I'm gonna put gold 1 of 1, see if it comes up with anything. Oh, no, that's a hockey player, Ryan Johnson. So no, it doesn't have this card. Don't see your item, fill in as many details as you can, then add it manually. Okay, so let me click add it manually. Okay, I will just go ahead and confirm. Okay, so simple enough. It obviously didn't have the card in the database, but I was able to add it manually. Okay, these last 2 cards I'm going to try before we actually get to the grading reveal part of this video, the fun part of this video, is I want to enter 2 of these Pokemon cards because this, to me, is where this new assisted submission process could come in very helpful to me, because I don't know the Pokemon world nearly as good as I know the sports card world. So I need help trying to determine what Pokemon card I have. So I'm gonna try these 2 because I don't know what card they are. I certainly don't know like what set they're from a Pokemon, and we'll see if they come up. So I'm gonna type in, so this is a Pikachu, and I'm gonna type in the number on the bottom of the card and see if that helps. So this is number 173 out of 165. So let me type in Pikachu 173. Okay, so that called up a lot of different versions. Oh, you know what? There it is. Oh, that's a Japanese version. And there it is right there. So easy enough. Just typing in Pikachu 173, I was able to find the card. I was able to match it by the image, even though I didn't have any idea what set it was from. So let me go ahead and click. Oh, that's actually, hold on, that's the German version. So I don't think I want the German version, even though, oh, I didn't notice. Hold on, yeah, I didn't notice. Look at that. The words are in German if you look further down on the card. I missed that. So I'm gonna do, so that's Pikachu. So what I know now is that this is from 2023, and this is it's from 151. Okay, so I'm gonna type in Pikachu's, I'm gonna add 2023 151, and I'm gonna add the word English, because that should hopefully get to the English version of this card. Japanese, Korean, traditional, Thai. No, where's English? Is this it right here? Here we go. Okay, so they spelled it, they didn't spell English out, they did EN. So that's why I didn't get it right on top of the list. But I can see that is the exact same card right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that card. And it gave an estimated graded value. That seems low to me for that card. I think this card's more valuable than $20 to $29, but who am I to argue? These graded values, I'm sure, are not always perfect. But let's go ahead and hit confirm, and then let's do our final Pokemon card and then see what happens next with like the service levels and the charges and all that kind of stuff. So this is an Eevee, and this is card number 188. So I'm just typing in Eevee 188, and there it is. It's the first one that popped up, and is that the English version? That is the English version. So that is, in fact, the correct card that I have. Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick that card as well. It's estimating, I think, a low graded value on that card as well. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm. And so let's go ahead and go forward with this. Obviously, I have a lot more cards to enter. You just saw them a minute ago in the video, but I just wanna see what happens with this set of cards. So let me go ahead and continue to review. Okay, so it says PSA is going to automatically recommend the most cost-effective service level for you based on the item's estimated graded value and corresponding maximum insured value. You may change your service level for higher coverage or faster turnaround times. Interesting. So look at this. It automatically divided my cards up. It put these in a $24.99 value service level up to $500 per item. Now, I will tell you that is too low of a service level for this particular card. That Kaboom, Drake May, a lot more valuable than $500. So that is something I may have to manually enter. Oh, and then look at this. It gives me an upgrade. Get these back in 20 days for $15 extra per item. So instead of 45 days, I can get them back in 20 days. That's 25 days earlier. That's interesting. So now PSA is kind of upselling you in this process, but they're making it a lot more clear as you go through. Now this is a mistake. It took the Ryan Johnson Leaf Gold 1 of 1 and put it in a value level 1979 and older. That is a 2024 card. Now that's my fault because I didn't specify that this was a 2024 card. So let me see if I can actually, well, first of all, I'm just gonna hit change service level and I'm gonna group it up with the 1980 to present service level. So I'm gonna do that. Let's see if this updates. It says your submission has been updated. Yep, okay, so now it is in this value 1980 to present. All right, so it didn't move it up here, which would have been nice. It kind of did its own service level, but I assume on the next step, it's gonna group them all together. And by the way, I wanna mention, this is, the version of this that I'm using right now is the beta version. We got early access to this. This is actually live on their website in a full version. So I imagine, little kinks like this, they're probably working out. They may have already worked out to make the process really smooth by the time you go onto PSA Card's website after watching this video and give this process a try. Okay, so one more thing I want to do before I complete this submission is I want to change the service level of that Kaboom Drake May card. So, okay, so it doesn't let you change the service level on an individual card, it looks like. Let me see then if I need to. Okay, so here's how you do that. If you click these three dots here, you can now change the service level of an individual card. So this one needs to go to a higher service level because it's definitely more valuable. So I might put this up at like a $2,500 service level or the $5,000 service level for this card. Let me just put it up at this for now, this February Express special. $2,500. Of course, I'm filming this in February. That's why I see that. I'm going to confirm that level. And it's going to update my submission, it says. And there it is. So, yep. So I can see I've got these in the $24.99 level, that in the $24.99 level, and that in the $129 level. Now, I imagine if I had added a bunch of additional cards, which I actually will do before I finally submit this, I imagine I would become eligible for their bulk levels, which are even cheaper. But let me go ahead and continue to check out right now and see what this looks like. Okay, so this is a step-by-step here. I can either ship it on my own or drop it off at a PSA event. So that's cool. So I could, do all the pre-work here for a PSA event. I'm gonna ship on my own. And then it's asking me once I'm done with it, do I want to send them to the PSA vault? Do I want to sell them on eBay or ship them back to me? Let's ship them back to me. Confirming all the charges. Yep, everything looks right there. The different shipping charges, ability to add a promo code if you have one, estimated total. And by checking this box and creating a submission, we're gonna be good to go. So let me go ahead and create that submission. And there you have it. So now it's giving me the instructions on how to package it. I can print my submission forms and labels. I gotta say, that's an easier process. Their new assisted submission process at PSA, definitely an upgrade in terms of the ease of submitting your cards for grading. All right, you wanna see what grades we got? We're gonna jump forward now in time, and I'm gonna show you what all of these cards came back at. All right, the cards are back from PSA, so let's see how we did with all of these grades. And I'm gonna start with Pokemon. I'm gonna go through the Pokemon ones quickly, but the reason I'm starting with Pokemon is because a few weeks ago on the Sports Card Investor channel, we put out that video where Harrison and I were going together around card shows, picking up raw Pokemon cards. So all of these Pokemon cards, or at least most of them, are his Pokemon cards. I wanna show you how he did. And you'll see, we bought a lot of duplicates when we went around these card shows. We were going through stacks of cards that the dealer had, trying to find any that we thought had a chance at a 10. These didn't make it. That's a 7, that's a 9. This is another duplicate we got. That's an 8, that's a 9. Unfortunately, no 10s here. This is a 9, that's a 9. So no 10s yet. Overall, we got maybe less 10s than we would have liked. However, the 10s that Harrison got were extremely impactful and made this whole thing very profitable. For example, that's a big card. So we bought, I think, maybe 3 of this card from card shows, and he got 10-10. The third one was an 8. But he got 2 10s. That's massive. This card, as of the filming of this video, last sold for, I believe, $920 in a 10. So that's a card that he picked up for less than $200 raw at these card shows. And he got 2 10s, $920 each as of the last sale, right? So you don't have to get that many 10s if the 10s you get have that type of impact financially on your grading return. And with Pokemon right now, with some of these cards, the multipliers are just simply massive, like a 5x multiplier, 4 to 5x on some of these Pokemon cards if you get a 10. Now, I was really hoping to get a 10 out of these Charizards. I think we bought 4 of these, but we got a 9, 8, 8, and 8. So I was a little bit disappointed by those. But then he did get a 10 on this Eevee, which is super cool. We got, I think, a couple of those. He got a 10 and a 9. That's a nice card. Oh, and then there's this one. Look at that. That is a massive, massive card to get in a 10. This is from one of the brand new Pokemon sets. And this is the Jolteon from that set, the special illustration rare, a very in-demand card. This card raw goes for a little bit over $200, and that's what he got it for. He actually picked this one up at a Cards HQ trade night raw recently for a little bit over $200. The last sale of a 10, as of the recording of this video, was over $1,200. So that was like a 6x return he got on this card by getting a 10. So even though a lot of the other cards didn't, 9, 9, 9, 9, 6, 9, right? So even though a lot of the other cards didn't, it just takes a few of those really big wins and it makes the whole entire endeavor really worthwhile from a financial standpoint. Obviously, from a collecting standpoint, if you're grading to collect, then you may not care about that markup at all. You may just be happy to have your cards in a PSA slab. But Harrison specifically was looking for raw cards that he could grade and enhance the value of his collection by getting a return. And that's definitely what he did. So here's a few more, and then we're gonna get into sports cards. We got a 9, we got a 10. Now we're getting into some lower value cards. 10, these ones are easier to 10. 9, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 8, 10, 8, 8, 8, 10. So there you have it. That's Pokemon. All right, but let's get into the main events. Let's get into the sports cards. And by the way, Harrison's gonna be pretty darn happy when he sees some of those 10 cards that he got. So let's bring these over. I have not looked at the grades of any of these. This will be a brand new grading reveal for me. Got a whole stack of these bad boys here. Okay, so this was one of my son Reeves' cards. He submitted 2 big Kaboom cards for grading. He was hoping for a 10 on both, but he really was hoping for a 10 on the Drake May. This is the Malik Neighbors. That one got a 9. He's going to be a little bit disappointed by that, but he really wants the 10 on the Drake May. There's the Drake May. All right, this is going to be a nervous moment for him when I peel this off. Heck yeah, Reeves. Got a 10. That's good. Reeves is going to be thrilled with the 10 on that card. He bought this raw and has just, that's a great return to buy that card raw and to be able to gem that at a 10. That's incredible. Okay, this is one of mine. This is my DJ Lagway 1-of-1 Superfractor. Now, some people feel like you don't need to grade Superfractors. It's a 1-of-1. I like grading it to get it in the graded slab just for the protection. It doesn't matter as much what the grade is. Of course, I would love a 10, but I'd be happy with anything. But I'd love a 10. Give me a 10. Show me a 10. Show me a 10. All right, I got a 9. That's okay. That's okay. Not quite perfect. I got a 9. This Victor Wembanyama card I picked up actually as a redemption card. I bought it off somebody, redeemed it, got the card back, and then submitted it for grading. Let's see how he did. These are thicker. They're a little hard to grade. Ooh, I got a 10. Oh, that's nice. I was actually not expecting a 10 on that card because these are a little bit thicker. And they can be a little bit more difficult to grade. So that's actually a great grade on that card. That's a little nice surprise for me. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, Reeves graded a bunch of Bowman U cards. We got a 9 on that one. Oh, this was Harrison's card. Now, I told Harrison this card wasn't going to get a 10. The left-right centering. Look at the left-right centering. Look at how it shifted to the left. I told him, I'm like, dude, it's not going to get a 10. And he's like, Dad, I think it can 10. Not going to get a 10. I'm telling him, hey, maybe PSA will prove me wrong. I think this is a definite 9. I don't think the left-right centering is 10 worthy. Yeah, it's a 9. That's what I thought. Okay. He cannot be disappointed by that because I told him, I'm like, that's a 9. That's a 9. All right, Trey Wilson, University of Florida. This is kind of a PC card for me. And the PC gets rewarded with a PSA 10. That's pretty sweet. Oh, Card Collector 2, Ryan Johnson. This is it. This is the 1-of-1 of Card Collector 2. Is Card Collector 2 gem worthy? What grade did Card Collector 2 get from PSA? His 1-of-1 from Leaf? 10. There you go. Ryan's going to be happy to see that. Throwing out the first pitch at the Brewers game. An awesome moment for Ryan. An awesome moment for sports cards. And now a PSA 10 to celebrate it. That's super cool. Spencer Strider rookie card from Stadium Club. Nice on-card autograph. PSA 9. All right. Was hoping for a 10 on that one. Zay Flowers tie-dye XRC. I think that's a cool looking card. Whoa. Okay. A 6. All right. That's my bad. I don't know what I missed on that, but you know what? I kind of see what I missed on that. There's, I don't know if the camera's going to show it. Yeah, it does. Look at that. I think that corner's kind of jacked up there. See how like it looks like the, there's like a printing issue, right? Like the corner, like you only see it a certain light. Like you don't see it there. Right there, it looks like, you know, pretty well centered, 4 sharp corners, 4 sharp edges. But you do that, oh, wait a minute. What's that in the corner? Oh, that's kind of a weird printing issue, print line deal. Okay. My bad. Should have looked at that one a little bit closer before I submitted that one off. All right. Chet Holmgren, Oklahoma City. All right. You know what? 7. All right. All right, that's all right. I'll go for the eye exam after this. All right, Lamar Jackson Genesis, an 8. Ugh. All right. Oh, all right. Oh, we got a 10. We got a 10. We got a 10. Okay, all right. I pulled that one out of Transcendent. See what we got on this one. A 9. Van Jefferson, Florida Gator, great. A 9. Okay. Montrell Johnson Jr., great running back for the University of Florida, going pro this year, an 8. Okay. All right. I've cooled off a little bit here. Quentin Johnson, this is an Obsidian Gold Flood, an 8. Man, I've really cooled off here. All right. Another card from Transcendent, this is Adley Rutschman, a 9. Okay. All right, I got a little bit cold. We got one more pile to go. Let's turn the heat back up here. I was feeling good about myself for a minute, and then I just got hit with a whole series of 8s and 9s and a couple of lower grades in there as well. All right. This is one Reeves graded. Ty Thompson from Tulane quarterback. That's an 8. All right. We got Brady Cook masterpieces. That's a 9. Yeah, it's a little rough. Brock Bowers to 25. That's a 7. Okay. Look, my only defense I have on this is Reeves, who has much younger eyes than I do, was the one who checked these ones over. So I don't know. Maybe we both need an eye exam. I don't know. Oh, we got a 10. Okay. All right. So look, a 10 is possible. This one I submitted for a friend. I did not check this one over myself. Okay. My friend got an 8. Not horrible. It's a 101 card. Cool looking card. 2024 Top Silver Pack Superfractor 101. Derrick Henry Zoom, a 9. The acetate cards are difficult to get a 10. I was hoping for a 10, but those are difficult cards to get a 10. All right, Keon Coleman, a 9. All right. Byron Churio, got a 10 there. Quite pleased with that one. Very nice. James Pierce Jr., got a 10 there. That's one of Reeves' cards. Okay. Heating back up a little bit here. This is another DJ Lagway card, my University of Florida quarterback. 9 there. Okay. Stan Musial Kaboom, 10. All right, good. Maybe we'll hit a couple of shots here at the end. We got a couple cards to go. Let's see if we can end strong. Cam Ward, Chrome Prospect Auto, might be the #1 overall draft pick. 9. Okay, was hoping for a 10. I'll take the 9. Finally, Jordan Love. We're going to end with Jordan Love. This one I thought was probably like a 9. An 8. I thought wrong. Thought it was going to be a little bit better. Okay, all right. You know what? Overall, I'd say the grade average of, not as good as I was hoping to get. I was hoping to get more 10s. I was hoping my average would be a little higher. However, there were some huge wins in there. I mean, huge wins. The Drake May Kaboom 10, the Victor Wembanyama first auto ever, Inception 10. There were some big wins in there. And then, of course, Harrison's Pokemon card. So overall, it was definitely a successful PSA grading order. And overall, financially, monetarily, it was certainly worthwhile to submit these cards for grading because we got enough 10s and we got 10s on some really big cards that by far provided a positive return on investment in terms of what we paid for grading fees versus what the cards are now worth now that they have been graded. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to check out PSA's new assisted submission process. It is live. It makes it easier than ever before for you to submit your cards direct to PSA, even if you are a first-time submitter. Go check it out right now, psacard.com, and use that first-time assisted submission process when you click the submit button on psacard.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with our next video. Take care.